Hey guys, it's Brendan the Paleo Dude, and welcome back to another Jurassic World unboxing and review video. Today we have some of the older figures from the Jurassic World Chaos Theory lineup, as well as the Ultimate Damage series. These guys were on sale at my local Walmart for like 15 bucks each, which was nuts, so I decided to pick them up because they are really cool figures. And this is probably one of my favorite Strike Attack figures that Mattel has ever made. It is just so detailed, and the paint job is phenomenal. They even included paint on the tail, which is usually something they don't do. Sculpt is nuts. So this guy's great. The Scorpius Rex is a completely updated mold. We see it's got the quills on the back of the head, unlike the original ones, which were based off of concept art. And then on the arms, the quills are a lot more detailed compared to the originals, and same with the tail, but these are all rubbery, so they're not actually sharp, which I really like. I appreciate the details on them too. There are some broken ones you can see that were probably lodged in a dinosaur's hide, or maybe bitten off, but that's a really cool detail. I'm glad that the Mattel team is just completely on top of some of these paint apps, like even these bumps on the back here are painted in a different color, which is really cool. And that's a detail that I'm surprised that they included. Now, the Therizinosaurus has a really cool action feature where you can rotate the entire front of its body and the claws slash up and down. This is super neat, and I love that they gave the Therizinosaurus a completely new sculpt. The head is new compared to the original, and the claws, the body, all of it has a really nice coloration to it, very dark. I like that they painted that big scratch on the thigh as well. So let's start with the little guy, Huayangosaurus. The details on this one, like I said, are just too good. So this guy has these massive claw marks on the thigh, two of them in fact, which is nuts. They're overlapping each other. There's one up on the top of the thigh. The spikes on the shoulder blades also have these slash marks, these claw marks, and the spikes on the back too have a lot of damage. You can see one actually got broken off on the tip. They sculpted some of the spines to have damage as well. You can see scratch marks and chunks taken out of them. This is like the most ravaged dinosaur sculpt I've ever seen. Look at how deep that gash is on the neck, the claw marks on the face. This is just nuts. There's one on the bottom of the neck there. Other side of the body, there's this massive gash going across the leg and down the tail, and it's across three separate parts of the mold. It's on the leg, the body, and the tail mold, which is crazy. You can see all the osteoderms on the tail, these little armor bits. They're all painted separately. Same with the plates on the tail, so that's nuts. Usually Mattel does not do that with the Stegosaur figures, but it looks like for this one they made an exception. I swear this must have been like a favorite of one of the design team members, because they went all out with it. It even has these armor-like plates, these osteoderms. They almost look like rock texture on the bottoms of the legs and the back of the ankles for extra protection. Look at that big one back there too. They're all out on this figure. Like, wow, that is crazy. And the neck, of course, has all these lines going down it, these skin flaps and folds, and the beak's painted, the eyes painted, the neck is painted. It is fantastic. This figure is just incredible. Whoever designed it, you did a peak job. Thank you. This is great. I love this, and I want to see more like this, because this is just fantastic. So the action feature is you can move the head up and down, the tail goes up and down, and then vice versa. It's pretty cute. You can make him rock out, jam out, whatever. I love the proportions. The tail's very long. The body's kind of sloped. I like that angle. It's very fun and dynamic. It's not just like your standard dinosaur pose. You can make it like drinking water or eating. That's really cool. So let's take a look at the Scorpius Rex. This one is a very interesting figure. I was not expecting a new mold for this at all. This is part of the Ultimate Damage line, so of course it's going to have some cool electronic features. The head goes up and down, and you can press on that button on the back, which makes it light up. And it says if you press it 3 times, you get 3 levels of intensity. This sculpt is phenomenal. Of course, they remodeled a lot of it, and it looks fantastic. So there is the action feature. There's a lot of red lighting up inside. They've got an internal texture that makes a different pattern. And the arms and legs are not articulated like the original one. This is more like the original electronic one, but instead of having arm slashing features, it has the head slashing feature. I do like the pose of the arms. We've got one kind of grabbing something or resting on something, and then we've got one kind of outstretched like that. That's pretty cool. And a simple action feature of pressing down on the neck instead of having a button to control that, which is pretty unique. I haven't seen other figures with this. Usually it's button activated. The teeth are really nice. You can see they're all molded individually as rubber, which the original figures are, one of which is just painted on, but I think the electronic version did actually have rubber teeth as well. And the paint actually goes onto the lower jaw, which really makes this figure extra nice with the paint details, because usually they just do the bottom jaw and call it a day, but I do appreciate that they went the extra mile and have that upper jaw painted as well. And then the paint job goes down to the neck and the chest, and it really contrasts with the body well. It's a good blend. It stands out because it's light, but it's not too bright where it's like super flashy, and these little osteoderm paint jobs on the back also tie it together really well. And the quality of the sculpt, like how crisp the details are, is fantastic. This is definitely the best Scorpius Rex figure to date and worth picking up, especially if you can find it on sale. I'm sure it might still be in stores in a few locations at Walmart, but this figure is really cool, and usually you can get a good price on it, because for some reason it's priced out as like a smaller figure than it is. I know the Indoraptor that came out alongside it is a bit more expensive. So put those guys in the back. Time for the Therizine. There we go. This figure's so cool. The box has a big cutout area. I like the slash damage it kind of has. And of course it's got the typical Chaos Theory Wave 2 box art, which kind of reminds me of Dino Rivals in a sense. And this is neat because Dino Rivals, the 2019 line over there, originally was supposed to have a Therizinosaurus with a very similar color style to this, but the prototype never got released, and we never got that figure until, well, I guess now, but this does look a bit different from the prototype art, which had bigger teeth and larger head, but this is really cool nonetheless because it feels like we're finally getting something that fits in perfectly with the Dino Rivals lineup. So let's get it out of the package. The feet might be stuck in there. Yeah, there's one foot right there stuck. So we'll free it. Oh, and then we've got another little elastic. There we go. Yeah, the package is really nice. I love what they did with it, with that cutaway, to allow the feature to swing. So this figure is really nice. I do love the scratches on the side of the neck and the thigh, but this bloody kind of line down the body is just nuts. It really brings the figure together. I like how bright it is. Very, very reminiscent of the Dino Rivals lineup. And you can see it goes down to the beak and around the eye. It's just very, very brutal, very cool and badass looking, I guess I could say. I just love its design. And of course, coming from the Chaos Theory lineup, you can see it's got a lot of scratches on its face, on its hide, on the shoulders, on the leg. they made sure to make this guy really battle damaged. I mean, not as much as our little guy back here, but it's still very much visible on the body, and they really highlighted it with some of the paint. Here's some scratch marks on the tail too, to show that this guy has been in quite a few fights. And this figure is quite big. It can definitely hold its ground against a Tyrannosaurus very well. The claws are still posable in a sense that you can rotate the actual hands themselves and have them posed however you want. But, oh wow, that's cool. They still work when you pronate them like that. So you can really have a range of motion with them, but the action feature prohibits the middle joints to be bent, so you can pivot them from the side and then from the wrists, so you can kind of flare them out a bit, and that might give the slashes a little bit more reach. And I do like the paint on the neck going down to the chest, and then they also gave the legs, lower part, and the feet the same paint job, so it kind of ties the figure together and looks more balanced. And you can prop this guy up, and the tail perfectly curves, doesn't hit the ground at all, so they made sure to pay attention to that detail. And I love the feather coating. You can see it kind of hangs down over the underside of the tail, which doesn't have feathers, but the whole body's coated in it. So you can have these two, let's see, fighting. Yeah, so they work well together. This set was really fun to pick up. I'm glad I grabbed them while they were on sale. They definitely are quite the bunch. Color-wise, they all stand out because this guy's like a dark purple, and it has more solid colors. So I guess these two kind of fit well together with their solid colors, but the Scorpius has a lot of blending going on. It's not solid, it's more like sprayed on, so it kind of has a different vibe going on with it, which is cool because I think this would fit more with the Hammond collection style and vibe in terms of like paint detailing. But nonetheless, they're really cool figures. I highly recommend picking them up if you haven't already, especially this little guy. It's just, to me, the perfect figure. But these guys are fun too. They've got some pretty sick action features, which make them awesome for play, but also if you're a collector, they look great on the shelves. So, hope you guys enjoyed this unboxing and review. And real quick, before I go, I started a plushie lineup where I make prehistoric animals into cute, adorable plushies. Our first one's Anomalocaris, but we're going to do dinosaurs and all sorts of Paleozoic critters. So if that piques your interest, check out the link in my bio and consider supporting my future work. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video again, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.